Wolverine! My healing factor came from his DNA, so we're like twins, except he's short and furry, and he smells funny. He loves it when people ask him if they can fly the Blackbird. He's got these awesome adamantium claws that cut through anything, including my body when I piss him off.
Logan always continues to prove that he's the best there is at what he does. But anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very exciting Marvel's Wolverine related video. Or more accurately, is that we are going to be fully diving into some brand new information that has been revealed from the game's main publisher with that of PlayStation, and what exactly their plans are going forward into next year of 2025 and beyond. And for the case of Marvel's Wolverine in particular, all this news sounds like a huge plus. So if you're excited for everything that Marvel's Wolverine has in store for the future, then definitely be sure to thwip that like button and subscribe to the channel for even more Marvel Games videos like this down the line. So if you've been keeping up to date with all the other massive PlayStation news that has been going on lately, is that we just saw the recent release of the brand new PlayStation console with that of the PS5 Pro. And as an interesting way to fully celebrate the console's new launch, we did get quite a few interesting updates about the overall financial status of PlayStation as a company and what exactly their internal production plans are going forward, primarily in regards to all of Sony's upcoming AAA titles, which are currently in development by first-party developers. And as luck would have it, this doesn't just include all the live service titles that PlayStation is planning on releasing, especially given the absolute failure of their most recent live service title launch with that of Concord. But instead, this relates to their true bread and butter with the AAA single-player games, and how PlayStation finally seems to be going back to their roots in making the games that we all know and love. Whereas it was recently reported in a brand new article from PlayStationLifestyle.com, is that we should be expecting major PlayStation exclusives every year starting in 2025, where Sony Group has said that it has plans to release major PlayStation exclusives every year, starting with Ghost of Yotei in 2025. The company made this revelation during a presentation announcing the group's financial results for the second quarter of fiscal year 2024, which officially ended on September 30th of this year. Sony revealed that it expects sales and profits to decline in the second half of the current fiscal year due to a lack of major releases. In the same period last year, Sony released Marvel's Spider-Man 2 in October of 2023 and Helldivers 2 in February of this year, both of which contributed significantly to sales and profits. And to directly quote Sony themselves, is that we are making steady progress in the development of new titles and in improving our live service game processes. Starting with Ghost of Yotei, which is a sequel to the smash hit Ghost of Tsushima, we plan to continue releasing major single-player game titles every year from next fiscal year onwards. The emphasis on single player here will come as a relief to fans. In the same presentation, Sony acknowledged that PlayStation studios are more likely to make hit single player games than multiplayer games. While Insomniac Games continues working on Marvel's Wolverine, fans are waiting to see a new IP from Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studio. So if there was ever an appropriate time to say that we are so back, then now would definitely be the time. I definitely think that's safe to say that PlayStation seemed to have learned an extremely valuable lesson with their recent live service disaster with that of Concord, which, in case you haven't been keeping up with the updates surrounding that game, is that not only was that title completely shut down and removed from the digital PlayStation Store, but the main studio who made that game of Firewalk was completely shut down by Sony, which hands down makes Concord the biggest failure in PlayStation history. So as a way for PlayStation to remedy that situation, they're now pretty much going to be doubling down on making the best games that they possibly can with the genre of game that players love best. That of which being the AAA single-player narrative-driven action-adventure format. But the best thing about this news is that we're now seemingly going back to the golden era of PlayStation with that of the PlayStation 4 era, where, if you recall, is that not only did we receive a plethora of amazing AAA first-party games from a wide variety of developers, but we also saw a multitude of these exclusives release in the same exact year, where, just for one example, is that all the way back in 2018, we received not only one, not two, not three, but 4 separate AAA PlayStation exclusives that did release all in that year alone, mainly in the cases of the Shadow of the Colossus remake, God of War 2018, Detroit Become Human, and of course, Spider-Man PS4, which was then completely followed up with the other passing years like that of 2019 with the release of Days Gone and Death Stranding, and even 2020 with the release of Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2, and of course, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And considering the 2 massive first-party PlayStation games which we already know are confirmed to release next year in 2025, with that of Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2, this certainly looks like the first step in the right direction for PlayStation to go down. And as for what exactly all this news means for Marvel's Wolverine, especially considering the recent news that we did hear about the game from Jeff Grubb, is that it now looks even more likely that the earliest that game could launch is sometime next year in 2025. Or like I've been personally thinking, is that it could release sometime in 2026 at the latest. So not only is this a fantastic sign of seeing what type of games that PlayStation is planning on making going forward in the future, but it now sounds like that all these highly beloved AAA single-player games from PlayStation are going to be releasing at a much more frequent basis. And who knows, because if we're lucky, we may also see another massive AAA single-player game that Insomniac might be working on, which could potentially release sooner rather than later. And I, for one, cannot wait. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for all you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of PlayStation's production plans for the future, and out of all the other AAA single-player games that Sony is currently working on, like that of Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, and even Marvel's Wolverine, which game are you looking forward to the most? Let me know what you think, be sure to leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel games and PlayStation videos like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and until next time, peace out.